cooled down. There's still a gap between the flanges on now. Oh, take them off, measure it. There's now like blowtorch back out again, down that gap. That seemed to work. I think the handle should drop when I put a bit of heat into the middle. There we go. So that's expanded out, hasn't it? We need to now expand it some more. Yeah, I think that'll do it. I think that should do it. Right, leave it to cool down again. I'll be back. I don't think you can see me face, but yeah, I'll be back. Right guys, update, back in the workshop. Should say welcome to racing because I can't say it. That's why I don't say it. Welcome to Racers Exhaust. Let's have a look. So we've been on with this. I think this might have been on last video. Don't really know what last video is. It's been a few days again. Pipes are done though. Pipes are done and they're looking good. As you can see, there's no pipes on that bike at the moment. They're there on the bench, and I've got a bit of an issue. That's why I've whipped the camera out. I probably would have carried on and made them all and had them on bike and then whipped the camera out and said, yeah, I'll have a look at these. But yeah, I'm at a sticky point. And I've come up with a solution. I think the solution's really good. We're about to see. We're about to find out. Solution might not be good. But have a look at these. Have a look at these. So they're looking good. This is it. I've had a lot of good comments. I've had a lot of bad comments about these pipes. A lot of comments about back pressures and powers and so you're going to lose power with that. No, it's never going to work. You're going to have to reject middle carb. I don't know. But I always have one saying. If you want a more powerful bike, just buy a different bike. Don't buy that. That might cost you $1,000 or something. This Yamaha XS850, you could literally go and buy a 600 CBR or whatever, a YZF Thundercat possibly. You know, there's many bikes for £1,000. They're just flipping trump that. Oh, it's like blow it out of the water, wouldn't it? So yeah, if you want more power out of these, just get them, throw them in the bin, sell that bike. Buy an early superbike. Not an early superbike, because early superbikes are going up in money, aren't they now? But yeah, anything mid-90s, late 90s. It'd absolutely, it's just no content. That bike there is just rubbish. It's rubbish in every way. It looks nice, mate. It's a very pretty bike. I like it. I like the engine, I like the tank, like it sits nice. It looks lovely. These 3-into-1s are going to look really nice on it. You don't get stuff like that on a superbike, do you? But just think of like all the brake advancements, the suspension advancements, engine advancements, just everything. Just buy an early superbike, power double overnight. So yeah, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant, I think. One of the things is they're saying like that's got so much area going through, free flowing. This one's free flowing. This middle one has got twice the area on it because it's double the bore. But no one questions like what size hole I've put going into here. I could have restricted it going into there. I probably have restricted it going into there. That transition from there to there to there is going to create back pressure and it's going to create a restriction, which this doubling up in pipe alleviates. Everyone's like, oh, you need to do them skinnier. Possibly, but I'm not running this on a dyno. I'm not trying to get max power. If you were trying to get max power, that join would have to be somewhere between that, and you'd have a crossover pipe at the back and also. But we're not making a production bike. We're just making something that looks pretty that's going to run. It's going to run. All 4 strokes run. They're not going to have much problems with it. So the only problem we do have with it is we have a look at these here, and this was another comment that everyone made. Said you're making them out of stainless. You're going to have problems. They're going to move all over at show. And this here is the spacing of the barrels. They're about, I think, 180 or something like that. 90 between the two. Yeah, 7 inches. You got 180 there, so you're not going to be able to see that, are you? The camera's not that good. 180. 90. So you got 90 between the two, haven't you? And then they come on here. That one's about 80. I think, if you can see that, that's about 80, maybe less. That one's about 80. So we've got 10 mil got 10 mils again between there, 10 mils again between there. I worked it out, I think it were about 7 mil. I just roughly measured that then, and I thought, like, man, we're going to get that, and we're going to get that back. And what it is done, basically when I've welded that section in here, that section in there, just nipped it up, and it's nipped that gap up. Just pulled that in tight. I did try alleviating that by tacking all the way around it to make sure that it stayed in the same place, but it didn't. It's totally different from welding mild steel. But I brazed that up in mild steel. I think it would have closed up and then come back again when it cooled down. This has just stayed in. So I need a way of stretching them out a little tiny bit. That's the problem. That's the problem. That took some thinking last night. That was last night's job. Think of a solution for that. Like, save myself. I need to save myself. I've got a big blowtorch. That's one way of getting around it. That is the way of getting around it. I'm going to get a big blowtorch out. But I needed a way of spreading that gap, and I thought wedges, if you put a wedge in it, it tends to like not pull them square, pulls them, it'll angle it, won't it? So then the faces of the collars won't be square. The faces of the collars are only tacked on at the moment, so I should be able to move them back straight, and they've got crush rings in them, so the crush ring's going to take up a bit of it. And my purging weren't brilliant compared to them two-stroke ones that I did that you've not seen. I will upload that as a short so you can see them. Compared to them, the purging were beautiful on the inside of them. Basically, I bought a full bottle of gas. I bought this bottle here, that little LB flipping hobby bottle, and it cost me about 100 quid. I think they cost me like 70, somewhere between 70 and 100 quid. And I just thought, I'm just going to waste it all. Customers going to pay for that bottle. I'm just going to pump it all through these two-stroke expansion chambers. I've got a little bit left. I managed to save a bit of it. So then I was thinking, right, the bit I've got left in that now, we're going to use that to purge these pipes. And I know it's near the end of the bottle, so I thought to myself, well, all right, we've got to be a bit more economic with it now. And just a bit impatient. I just dived in and started welding it, and it's a bit... Let me spin it around again. Let's see what you can see. That middle joint there, I can tell it's burnt on the outside. It welded all right, but yeah, on the inside it's snotty as. So there's some more restriction for you. Weirdly, I think I must have welded this top side first, because this top side it's got a load of stalactites on the back of it, but then the bottom side's all right. So by the time I got onto the bottom side, it had purged itself a bit. But then I went to flick it over to weld these, and the purge line fell out because I'd only wedged it in with flipping tin foil. That had fallen out, so then I lost some more purge gas. And then I've got a problem with, like, it's heavy, so I was welding it upside down, and I were hoping that the purge gas were going to go up here and then drop back down into them too. So I just put the line in the middle. It's just learning how to purge, really. But I think they'll be right. They'll stay together. So my plan is now, like I say, just got to stretch these out. Come and have a look at this magic invention. You're all going to love this bike. That's the bike as we're going past. This is what I created last night, and I've been excited all night. Well, I've been lying in bed to just come in today and just have a blast with this. This vice has got these little steel plates on the top. I've decided to just weld a bit of scrap on to these metal plates. That one's a little bit loose, but it's got a screw in the top. I should laser cut some of these, to be honest. I should laser cut some plates that'll bolt onto these with little Allen heads, maybe. But at the moment, yeah, I brazed it to the vice. Brazed it to these metal plates while it was still all bolted up to the vice. Vice were taking a load of heat away. Brazing on it's not right nice, but it's solid, I think. My plan is to put the two exhaust ports on there, wind it open. I had a go last night, and it'll wind open while it's cold. It'll get it to the right place while it's cold, but then when you wind it back in, it just springs back. So my plan is wind it right open, get a big blowtorch out, get it nice and hot while it's wound out, then let it cool down while it's wound out, and then hopefully when I pull it off, it'll just stay there. You know, like, I'm going to de-stress it in that vice. So yeah, what would the plan be next? The plan be next is get a tripod out for you. I think just go and sup a bit more in my brew. Get a tripod out, set you up looking at that, get a big blowtorch out, get it all set up, have a look, let's see how it goes. Hopefully they could save me. Like I say, the collars are only tacked on, so I could potentially just whip them off, get die grinder. I've welded them on the inside, makes it hard, but I could get a die grinder in there, take the tacks off, take the collars back off, realign it all. Once I've stretched it out, if them collars are going to move, I could realign it all, weld all collars back on, My other option was like cut a slit in it, bend it, weld it back up, all that kind of stuff. And I just thought, nah, I've got a blowtorch, I'll just do it with a blowtorch. It's obviously, heat's created it, so I'm going to try and heat it again and decorate it, if that's the right word. So I'll pause you for a second, I'll find tripod. I'll be back and let's do some crazy stuff here. I don't even know where I got that idea from. I think Tommy sent me a video of a Japanese vice that had three grips on it, and one of them had like 2 posts on the top, and I'm like, what's that for? That could be interesting. Basically, it was to put a jaw on that rocked on the posts. But when I seen the posts, I thought, that might work. That might. I've had a couple of instances where I've wanted to stretch things out, and that could be my solution. Let's bear it in mind. Right, I'll be back. Let's find button in a bit. Far away again, aren't you? Why do I have to duck? I'm too tall for cameras. Right, I've got my phone camera set up there. That's going to make an awful video. But you, naughty you, with your naughty screen that won't fit me on. I've got the pipes here now. Basically, I think one of these is more bent in than the other. Don't know why that is. Maybe I welded it up a bit higher. There's definitely a possibility there. I can tell by, I don't know if you can see that, but I can tell by these collars. So you line all them collars up and there's no gap in between them. And that one's tighter, that one I can nearly get them 2 collars in line. That one I cannot get them in line. Not enough room there. And I think there should be enough room there. So plan is, let's have a look at that. So from the outside of that to the outside of that, it should be 90. And it's 83. So let's say that needs to go 7mm. From the outside of that to the outside of that is 84. So that one needs to go 6mm, that one needs to go 7mm. Try the 7mm one first. I'm going to put it on there like that. I'm going to wind it out. Now it's winding it in. The only problem with this is it's a swivel vice in it, so it wants to do that. That is literally my only problem. The design's good, I think, but the swivelly bit's not. I'm also trying to find the centres. So yeah, this was my plan. Open it out until I think it's 90. Alright, them collars now, there's a gap between them. Still a little bit off. Like I say, I tried this yesterday and it just went. You can stretch it out to 90 without any heat. Oh, my screen's upside down now. Right, guys, your screen's upside down for some reason, I don't know why. Right, so that's the neighbour came, so I got distracted. What's that there? I could do a better way of measuring that, but it's still not wound out all the way. Maybe I do need a bit of heat. Because otherwise I'm going to stress me vice on. That looks like it's 90. Right, so that looks like it's 90. Plan is now warm one of these, warm. Well, I feel like if I warm that side up and this side up here, that'll extend that a little bit, it'll extend that a little bit. Should hopefully keep them apart. Because obviously it's gone tight in there, hasn't it? I think that's the problem, it's nipped up there. I just want to spread it a bit, so I'm just going to blast it with some heat from there, I think. Maybe crank another turn on it for when it cools down. Just get it glowing a bit, and then get it glowing in there. Wow. Yeah, give it another turn, I think. Just hold it out, then let it cool down. There. Your camera's in the way. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ah, you can't see much there. Just want to keep you out of the way of me. I want to get my torch in there. Right. Sorry for just moving you about and letting you get bored again. I know. Well, that worked, didn't it? Because it dropped the tension off that. Right. I was thinking that last night. So I thought if you expand that out, it's gonna actually, let's give you a bit of a zoom out. Let's see what I can see. I've got a bit of a presentation. A bit of a presentation coming up. Salts balls again. Right, so my plan yesterday was when I was lying in bed, I thought if I wind that out and then I heat it up, basically this will go slack, won't it? Because I'll heat it up, I'll expand it that much that won't be holding it out anymore, it'll just be thingy. Then obviously it's going to cool down now, it's going to come back in. But I've just done another one turn, which now means it's held out, doesn't it? And just hold it out while it cools down now, and hopefully it'll stay. It could actually do with one turning, but I think it'll still spring. Well, there were obviously a lot of shit in that as well. It stank when I warmed them up. Don't know what that were, that bright orange flame. So now my plan is I've just got to wait for that to cool down a lot, and hopefully it'll stay there. Say it's a little bit over 90 that, but I'm hoping it's just going to spring back a little bit when I let go of this, which I think it will. It'll have a little bit of spring in it, and we'll see, because then hopefully if it springs in I might be able to just spring it back out enough. It's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. It's one if I spread them out too much, I don't know what I'll do then. I'd just put both of them in vice, wouldn't I? I think if I could get them in vice and just squash them back up again. It's a lot of fannying about, innit? This is the problem with pipes. I even think I might have to tweak a couple of these on bottom. You can't see that, but as they're running under bite now, I think they're also tightened up, so they probably will when I weld collars on. These top ends here, they didn't need to be 90. I ordered them off of my Alden's exhaust. And he was like, what do you want for it, Ben? And I was like, I don't know, I'll bend a 90 on my tube bender and see what that looks like on the bike. It looked right, it looked like it come out the head and follow the down tube at a 90. But then I knew I was going to have to splay them out, and that was going to create some sort of issue. I couldn't suss out how much I needed to splay them out. But when you splay them out, it changes the angle of entry in a way. It's hard to explain, but I knew that was going to happen. So now what I've got is, they're not 90, they need to be less than 90. So I've just had to weld the collars on like that. Pipes going in. Oh, it's flipping well hard to show you that. Let's get a 90. Let's find you a 90. Kind of like a little bit of any collar. Let's turn that off, because that's just wasting memory. So what I've done is, that's what I thought it was going to be, this one of these 90s. It's going into head like that, but the actual port, hold on a minute, port's there, like that. I thought pipe needed to go in at 90 like that, so port's on an angle, say, but it didn't, it needed pulling out a bit, so what I've actually had to do is do that a bit, if you get me. The collars are painting up like that. It doesn't look the best, but it's by the time you've put the flange behind the back of that, you can't even see it. It's all hidden inside the engine. Well, it's not inside the engine, but it's good enough. It's out the way. And I'm over-egging that a lot. But yeah, that's basically what I've had to do, because the 90 weren't enough. Like I say, it needed to be less than 90. it needed to be, yeah, because I've had to pull it out like that, haven't I? 90 were kicking it in too much into the frame, and it just didn't work. So these collars are a bit, but that's all I could do. It's like I say, I tore them pipes off another guy. If I had a tube bender that could bend tight bend stainless, then all you'd do is you bend a 90, try it on the bike, say, it's not a 90, that it needs to be an 80. Then you just go back on tube bender. That's my old tube bender over there. You go back on tube bender, put in an 80, bend an 80, check it on bike, see what it looks like. But all I've got is that size bend on my tube benders, and it's flipping like twice as big as that. So I'm never going to work with it, but it were an alright way of sussing out what I needed, and it's got me close enough. For now, I'm just going to wait for that to cool down, and then we're going to do the other one. Oh, we'll see what that comes off like, but we'll then do the other one. That's all I can say, right? Find the bottom, I'm out. Right guys, you can see the pipes there, can't you? They've cooled down. There's still a gap between the flanges, big gap. These ones touch together. That side they touch together, the flanges. These ones, yeah, like a 3 milli gap possibly. Don't need to measure it. All I need to see is whether that gap will stay the same. I don't, bit like they touch together, so that's how they were before. I want them to stay apart. When I wind this in now, it's obviously going to creep back in it. I think it's going to creep back in because it's obviously sprung out that way, but let's see how far it comes back. Now there we go, we're off. We're off and they don't touch together. Right, happy days. I might need to file them holes out yet, which is another problem. Just because it's all that tight going on that these holes don't want to go on. I've already had to file them out because it's got a bent stud on head. But next plan now, take them off, measure it. There's nothing I can really do until I measure it. See if that's 90 from the outside of that collar to the outside of that one. Nah, we're not there yet. We've gone in. I've got 3 mil to go on that now, I think. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So we've gone in 4 mil. Outside of that one to the outside of that one. Yeah, and then that one we need to do 6 mil again, don't we? Right, so same again. Just we'll repeat that method. Go, we've soaked up half of it. Get that on there. Start winding it back out again. Nah, it's confusing because I normally use the vice the other way around. It's hard to suss out how far we're going. That's 90, so I need to go a bit past again there. That's definitely past 90 now. One more turn. Right, blowtorch back out again. Down that gap, that seemed to work. Just see that picture were nice, weren't it? That picture was nice. I'm going to keep you zoomed in. Well, actually, let's keep you zoomed out actually, because I think that handle will drop again. I think the handle should drop when I put a bit of heat into the middle. There we go. So that's expanded out, isn't it? We need to now expand it some more. Yeah, I think that'll do it. I think that should do it. I don't know, it's like at 95 that. Probably 93, 94, something like that. Good year, 94, don't know why. It's foggy wind, finger. Been a really good year, 94 had a good year. Right, leave it to cool down again. I'll be back, I don't think you can see my face, but yeah, I'll be back. Right guys, back in round two, this is second one. It's cooled down enough that I can grab it. Take it off, measure it again, innit? It does come back in a lot when it comes back in. But it stayed out, it looks like it might have stayed out more than it did last time. Let's try and get flipping 90 on this. 2 mil to go. Flipping bastardo. It's going to become a point where I know I'm going to have to do this again in a little stage, because what I'm dying to do here is just flipping wang it open a lot more, but we know then that I'll have gone past it. I think wherever that said 95 before. It's not 95 yet. One more. Naughty that. Naughty. It just feels like you're gonna snap it there or something. Obviously I don't want that to be under tension anyway, because it would crack, so if we can get this to relax, maybe I just warm it all up now. Just get it all cooking. And then we'll relax it all then in a way, won't it? It's all warm. Wow. I'm doing that extra turn there for the spring back, I think. Fingers crossed, that might be the one. Might be the one. You're on low battery now, so you're probably not going to see me do the one, but I'm going to have to do that. Put it on, warm it up, stretch it out, put it on, warm it up, stretch it out, stretch it out, stretch it out, stretch it out, until it's right. I'll put you on charge. Next thing we'll do, we'll try him on bike. So I'm just going to spend another half an hour or whatever, wait for that to cool back down. That's going to take a lot longer to cool down now. I've got it all red hot, innit? Go over there, drink a bit of my brew, answer some messages, some emails, because I'm well behind. Yeah, and I say try it on the other side, then we'll try it on bike. I'll be back. Right guys, update. Time to show you the XS850 exhaust pipes. I know you all want to see it, don't you? You all want to see it. Quite a lot of comments saying that's never going to fit, and it didn't fit. I think that was last video, weren't it? I had them two spreading posts on top of vice to try and spread the ports out a little bit. Well, it's on. It's on, and I don't dare take it back off, to be honest with you. There's a few bits that need doing on it before it's finished. But it's on. It's on, and I've got another month to finish it off. Customer said he'll be back at end of November. It's the end of October now, so I've got another month to finish it off. But he wants mudguards doing, the rear root welding on. The pipes still need a little bit doing to them to make them right. Opposite side's got a bit more of a gap than this side. I think that'll be all right, to be honest with you. What I'll do, I'll flip screen round. We'll go and have a look at it. Hey, let's have a look. Let's have a look. So that's it. It looks absolutely spot on, you know, to be honest with you. It's just a little bit tight here under pegs. This is my main issue. If you listen to that down there, and I'll flick back end. So yeah, that's obviously tapping away on that. So they need pulling down basically, and I just need to take it all off, warm both sides up on about there somewhere. I might warm it up on down straight and just pull it down. Obviously I didn't want to do that before I got all ports in line because it'll just mess about with front ends, but the front ends are in. They were a bit tight on collars, just a bit tight on collars. The collars are tight to pipes. The all only just clears on pipes, so there's little movement up and down, left and right to try and get the holes lined up for bolts. That's been my biggest problem. I'm waiting for some rotor birds. I've got a rotor bird that'll fit. Nah, it won't fit. I've got some files that'll fit. My rotor bird's too big. I just have one that I use for taking welds off the inside of silencers and stuff. I don't have one that'll fit in an 8mm hole, so I've ordered some more. They're in post. When they arrive, I'm going to take these off. I'm just going to try and slot the holes out a little bit or make them bigger. Problem is, that's really thick stainless. I could just drilled a bigger hole in it, because that's really thick stainless. I think it'll just burn drill bit out. So I'm going to try and do it with a file or a rotor burr. And just, yeah, open them out, slot them out, so they'll go on a little bit easier. Apart from that, yeah, it looks good. So that part of it all looks good. These have been spread on my vise, so they just fit easy peasy. They'll come in and out. I need to take it off. I need to weld round the collars, because they're only tacked top and bottom at the moment. That would just help me line it all up, get it all in. Tighten them down with these flanges, and that's obviously, if the collar were a bit like that, the flange will have pulled it straight in head now. So take all them off, weld them round, but I'm just going to wait for burrs to come. Gap on this side, less than a finger. Gap round the other side, more than a finger, which is that's annoying. That's annoying. I tell you, that's annoying, but just is what it is. It's done now, innit? So that's on. Let me get the same finger out. You can get a finger in there. You see, finger in. Halfway on the other side, I can't get my finger in. So it's probably a couple of mil different, but you can actually see it. There's a lot of daylight coming through there, and if we go around the other side, there's less daylight. But that's something to do with the bottom bends. So you see, there's a lot less daylight there. That gap's probably twice as big on the other side. Like, it's less than a finger all the way around. On the other side, it's a little bit more than a finger. So yeah, probably like a 3mm difference or something. But the problem being is, I think when I pulled that pipe in on back side, so it had the same gap, it were kicking up too much at the back. So I've pulled it down so that they're both level at the back. That's obviously created a big gap on that side. It's either have the same gap or different backs. For 3mm, I don't think it matters. So you look at that pipe on that side, we're looking there. Probably the bottom of it's in line with that shocker nut. On this side, it's a little bit lower. So you can see that, yeah, that side's just been trying to pull up, and I've pulled it down, pulled it down, pulled it down. That's made that gap a lot bigger around front of engine. This one, if I pull that pipe up, it makes that gap even less. So my plan is now, yeah, like I say, is just to warm up and pull them down on the ends. But pull that one down on the end a little bit. Pull that one down. Obviously pull that one down from here. Warm this up here, pull that one down. That'll make this gap a little bit bigger. Create a gap there. On opposite side, I don't want to pull it down from mid up front. I don't want to pull it down from front there, because I don't want that gap to get any bigger. So warm it up here in middle or something, and then just pull that down. Mainly to get a gap underneath there, and to get a gap under the peg. There is actually a gap underneath that peg. It don't hit on this side, but yeah, there's just a few little tweaks to do. Just a few little tweaks to do on that. This is my main priority for today, is that dummy. I always try and talk through them all too fast, and then I'm like, by the end of it, I'm like, I notice quite a lot of people doing that, where you just you think, right, I need to get through this dead fast, and that's one of my biggest problems of doing videos is I get out of breath. I just try and say it all in one go. Like, you want to flipping hear me try and read a book, I'm saying, blah, 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 blah. Oh, the red car went down the road. I'm like that. I might have a one or other. I'm either talking too fast or I'm talking too slow. Right, so that, yeah, like I say, that's just going to sit there on bench for, I think, for a couple of weeks while I try and get some more jobs out of the way. I need to think about the pipes, but I also need to order some mud guards. You want some stainless mud guards for it, so I'm just going to go on eBay or on internet, try and get some mud guards that'll fit front there, front back. Nice short little ones. What else did he want me to do? Try and get the seat to fit, which will involve welding them up. There, do you see that? That gap there. Horrible. I need to TIG weld round, grind that off, TIG weld round it. That seat doesn't quite fit that rail, but he wants me to weld like some bars across it or something so that the seat will fasten down on it. So just a couple of jobs, but they're going to take a bit of thinking to do. So while I'm thinking about doing the seat and the mud guards and pulling them pipes down, I've got these to do. I've got this dummy racer to do for Brian. This turns up every winter since 2018 or something like that. It's been here 5-6 times. I think it was about 2018, yeah, it could have been, because when I had an article written up, Classic Bike Magazine, 2019, that bike were in that article, I'm fair sure of it. So that could have been 2018 when I took the photographs of it. And basically I kitted this all out like a poster bike of a proper Daytona dummy racer. Just like a proper dummy racer. A proper dummy racer consists of a Manx Norton with a Dominator engine in it. A tricked up Dominator engine off the Norton Works department. They built a few of them. And Brian wanted to build a copy. So yeah, he's got the Manx Norton frame, and to tell if it's a Manx Norton frame, basically they have a big bend in there. I think they're like a 4-inch, a 6-inch, a 10-inch radius, whereas a standard frame will have a 4-inch, a 6-inch, a 6-inch. So they use 3 different dies, and they got bigger. That loop there is absolutely massive on a Manx Norton. Is it a bolt-up rear end as well? It's got a bolt-up rear end on it. That's another thing. You can have them on road bikes, I think, but on the early Manxes, that's a bolt-up rear end. Long loop on the back, makes it an early type frame. I think he's had a gusset welded in, so that'll be a bit confusing for everyone, because these gussets normally say that it's a road bike, but I think Brian's had that welded in just to strengthen up the front, make it into a better race bike, so you've got less flex in the front. He's got one of them mega front wheels in it. That there probably cost more than any bike I own. Just that brake, that's a piece of flipping art in it, that. I'd guess about £3,000 that wheel is. Just mega money. He's got the right back wheel in it, proper Manx Norton back wheel in it. It's just all Manx Norton bits, that, apart from the engine. That's what makes it a proper dummy racer. Basically, yeah, so what I did with it, when it first come in, we got all the posters out, I got all my Manx Norton samples out, exhaust systems and stuff, got all my dummy pipes out, all the pictures, everything, blah, 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 and we made him the correct dummy racer set of pipes for it, and megaphones. Since then, he's decided not to have it as a show bike and to actually race it. He had it on road for a bit, you know. This wasn't road, it had a number plate on back seat here. Maybe he's kept the other seat, maybe it's a different seat, but one of his seats had a black number plate on back there, and he used to ride it on road. Maybe just for a few months he rode it on road. Then he wanted to take it racing, so he got his race licence, entered CRMC, I think, entered Lansdowne Series, and that's what he does now. And the Vintage Club, the BHARC flipping racing club, British Historic Racing Club, that's what it is, isn't it? So we've had to make some race pipes for it. The race pipes, silencers, all that stuff. I made him a full set of them. We've tried small bore pipes, medium bore pipes, big bore pipes, so I've made him 3 sets of pipes. Since then, he's had that on dyno. He wants a really short set of pipes. He's trying to set sweatbacks on that do that. And it gains 7 brake horsepower. But you're not allowed to have sweatback pipes in the Lansdowne series. So my plan today is to make that pipe and finish it there, probably, and then fit a mega. Got to fudge it. Got to try and put short pipes on so it's like a sweatback, but we're not allowed sweatbacks. So we're going to make a short system. Pretty much just copy them pipes and then the next size up. They're 1.3/8. I think got to make them 1.5 inches. Sand bend them again. So I'm going to get big bottles out. I've got some megaphones to fit that I made last week. That's it for now. I'm just going to get sand bender out. What we'll do is I'll bend them up. We'll get camera back out for just to check the time and the memory. Then I think we're all good. We'll get camera back out. We'll do some fitting. But yeah, my first plan is just going to take them pipes off, copy them with wire, pack some tubes with sand, get sand bending. I'm that busy. I don't want to pick this camera back up again, but I know that because I've started it now, I've started this whole YouTube thing, I've got to try and carry on with it, but I've been a bit lackadaisy with it recently, so I'm going to try, but I'm far too busy to be doing it, but I'm still going to keep trying. So yeah, well, let's get some work done. I'll be back, but yeah, she's pretty, isn't she? After I've done that dummy racer that way, that dummy racer there, we'll be on that one. Got to do 5 sets for that Enfield, but we'll talk about that all the day. I could talk about that for days and days and days, and it's not good. Tommy, I could talk about that for days and days and days. All good. That thing, just a big, heavy hump of junk. That 350, and it weighs more. Probably weighs as much as that 850 does. That 850 is proper. It's a better looking bike as well, isn't it? I'm not a fan of Enfields, I don't think. But we'll come back to that. Right, I'm going to get some work done. We'll be back soon. In a bit.